go ahead and actually, let me just pull up the standings here, since I can, and I've got them pretty much set up here. Just for those of you curious, Systrom Gaming has been doing an in-house league with a bunch of players on their team. And you can see how they've been stacking up. A couple of the last games' scores obviously haven't been updated, but MygraiN is the strongest player. And that's actually who we're going to be watching next. It's going to be MygraiN versus Paradox, who we saw actually in the game versus, or the very first game versus Freedom, who ended up taking that game. Or no, actually I believe it was Freedom who ended up taking that. Anyways, we're actually bringing in Freedom here to go ahead and cast this game along with me.
Right. All right, next game.
Yeah, welcome back in.
Yeah, man.
So it's a TVT.
All right, TVT. I think they're ready. Let's double check.
Yep, the map is Nimbus. For those of you curious at home. I like the color choices that we're going to have out of our players, too. They're nice colors. And that's the countdown, folks. 1, 0. We're in the loading screen. One of the most exciting screens ever.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one, man. This might be a chance for MygraiN to lose a game.
Ooh, you think so? You think Paradox is gonna do it?
He can. Remember, Terran versus Terran. Maybe someone gets a nice mind drop. Who the heck knows? You know.
Yeah. Fair enough point. Fair enough point. Well, spawning in here on Nimbus, one of our first Terran players for Systrom Gaming. His name is Paradox. And on the top right-hand side, gilded in orange, playing as well for Systrom Gaming. It's like there's a pattern here. His name is MygraiN, the GM player. So we'll see, man. We'll see if he can actually be defeated. Can the king be toppled from his throne?
Yeah, this is you know. What did we see lately from a lot of the tournaments? The first to expand Terran loses now? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I guess I haven't been paying attention that deeply to TVTs. But we did see a resurgence of the whole Banshee play was really strong for a while, and now we're starting to kind of see more, I think, regress into like Reaper, Hellion kind of stuff, and then back into like Bio or Siege Tank. Like Siege Tank, I'm trying to remember, bomber style, like Marine Siege Tank. It's kind of fallen out of the play. You see a lot less of that.
Yeah, but in this map, you have a free expansion until they can drop you.
That's true. But it's also, you have to remember that that base is really open to drops, so we could see some sort of bio compositions, or we could just see straight up mech out of Terrans. That's one of the cool things about, I think, TVT is that you can see bio compositions, or you can see straight up mech. But again, that Siege Tank Marine style is just kind of fallen out.
Yeah, nice scout here for Paradox. Right away, first spot.
Yeah, gets the correct counter, or correct clockwise scout.
Yeah, if you look, he's got 2 gases already. See, he has a tech play in mind.
Yeah, you're right. So who knows? Maybe we will see that sort of Banshee play. But he's only got 1 in each gas right now, which is a little bit interesting. Oh, now putting 2 in each gas. So this is very... Oh, now up to 3. I wonder if that's on purpose, or if it was just that he kind of forgot to put guys back onto gas.
He probably was trying to get as much minerals first, so he doesn't stunt his, you know, mineral income too much.
Yeah, makes sense. We see a lot of Protoss players will do that for a while. They'll stay on two guys in gas and then switch it up to 3 when they want that extra gas income. And
yeah, but he lets
that Reaper opening.
He lets that guy in though. That's too bad. Wow. He sees the double gas.
That's not a full wall off by Paradox, correct?
Yeah, it's not a full wall, but he kind of moved his Marines up, so it could have gotten some shots in and maybe, you know, discourage him from going in further, but.
Yeah, stop him from seeing the factory, which he did actually see with that SUV. That Reaper's being really aggressive, but gets away, and he will regen up really quickly.
MygraiN has the expansion up too, so he doesn't seem as concerned.
Yeah, I mean, all he needs to do is kind of play it safe. He doesn't know. I mean, he can probably infer that the expansion for Paradox isn't up yet because he saw the factory, so he can kind of just assume like, oh, that's going to delay him a bit. Now we are seeing the expansion come down, and not at the safer expansion. It's further away though from his. It's actually away from his opponent, not toward his opponent.
Yeah, it's debatable whether it's safer because we've seen so many drops, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
so hard
That
to stop there.
yeah, I guess I shouldn't have said the safer expansion. He took the less typical expansion,
Yeah, the unusual
which might actually
expansion.
end up being safer because of the fact that it is further away, less open to drops. And you know what? The actual mineral line itself is tucked away, while the building, the command center, is a little bit more vulnerable.
Yeah, this Reaper action here has done a lot of
Wow.
damage too.
Yeah, delaying
Stops
that,
that
second
second.
factory.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it gets the scout on the fact that this is full-blown mech coming out here from our second Terra player, Paradox.
Yeah, this Reaper,
I
man.
know. How many kills? 3 kills on that Reaper?
He can trap it though. There's only one way out. If he goes down right now,
Oh.
there you go. He knows. He knows how to
Okay.
trap it.
We'll see though. This is intense. I believe in MygraiN. I think MygraiN can get out of here. Come on, do it, MygraiN. No. Oh, okay, I was wrong.
Nope.
I had too much faith.
Probably not. Not even Flash can get out of that one.
I don't know. I feel like Flash would just his Reapers would get the extended jump pack range and just jump from that higher cliff down to the lower platform down there.
Look, he hasn't even resumed building that factory.
Oh,
That
yeah.
Reaper has really distracted him so much.
Yeah, Paradox is might be a little bit nervous. Again, he is playing against a Grandmaster's level Terran, which can be a little bit intimidating when you get into that loading screen. You see that gold portrait, you're just thinking to yourself, oh god, I wonder who else this guy's played on the ladder, multiple times and has beaten them. That's the only thing that would go through my mind, at least. It's like how many times this guy's run into Hyun. Probably.
Yeah, there are several levels of Grandmaster, and then there's even the server thing, right? Where they say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're on NA, you're not in the Korean server." So
That's
there
true.
are, just like in the professional level of, like, say, basketball, there's tiers of players, and he is a a GM player, so that's scary by itself. But
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever played Hyun. We'll have to ask him.
Shh, that's what I'm saying. You just don't know who
He
he's
has
playing
played
on the ladder.
Parting though. He's told me he's played Parting before,
you
and
go.
Rain.
Oh, that's a pretty good one to have under your belt. Anyways, Paradox is moving out. One thing I want to notice is that MygraiN's getting cloak on his Banshees, like, at a really strange point in the game. But we're having these 2 siege tanks move. There's a lot of Marines here. 1 siege tank at the back is going to be able to pretty much
man.
defend this. That choke makes it almost impossible. Fun little game of tug of war here, but I don't ever perceive MygraiN moving too far down the ramp. What we could see is potentially could see Paradox try and get a little bit closer, maybe use scans or like a medevac or some sort of air unit to hold this back. But the Banshee, the Banshee coming
Oh
up every single
man,
Marine.
this Banshee's gonna own.
Dude, this Banshee's coming out at the perfect timing, like pulling 1 siege tank back to try and maybe trick MygraiN into forcing the Banshee back, but MygraiN way too good for this, pulling his other Marines up to try and clear off these siege tanks. Only gets 1. I don't know if he's going to get that second one.
I
Cloak
think
is
he
almost finished here.
overextended. He
So we're just gonna see
overextended
that
there a
Banshee.
little.
Yep, so that Banshee with Cloak is now going to move in, I think try and maybe get some more kills. But yeah, after losing those Marines, I think you were saying that he was overextending a bit too much, and I agree with that. Yeah, when you only have 3 Marines out and 2 siege tanks, probably not a good time to be out in the middle of the map.
He doesn't even have scan. Now he does. He's waiting.
A Raven. MygraiN is actually. Well, he's got the surround on the Banshee, so that Banshee is definitely going to die.
Oh man, that
But
Banshee's a
second
hero.
Banshee coming in on the right-hand side. Look at that. And there's no missile... Oh, wait, there's 1 missile turret being created, but it's not actually in the mineral line. So what he can do, and actually what we're going to see, is MygraiN move around this top-hand side and just pick off
man.
workers from the top. And then there's not too much that Paradox is going to be able to do until he starts to react to this. Couple of Vikings coming by, and he still has Cloak activated. Are we going to see a scan? And indeed we do. But
Those
10
two
workers
Vikings.
gone down.
Devastating damage from the 2 Vikings, man.
That's a pretty good point. Yeah, those 2 Vikings paying off dividends, but they were still late for that first Banshee, unfortunately, which just got so much damage done.
The Banshees are hero Banshees. They killed, what, 3 tanks? Like
Something.
10, 20 workers? 10
I don't know.
workers.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, he got a good number of workers, but it was just the harassment in general, just trying to keep Paradox on his toes. Anyways, MygraiN is starting to move down on the ramp. This could prove to be a little bit dangerous. Ooh, blast on the Widow Mines though. And he's got his third base up and running, so that's what he's trying to do. Just trying to move out and protect this third base, try and take the center position here. But we're seeing Paradox kind of move around position, but his army's completely inferior to MygraiN's. If MygraiN just like unsieged and walk forward, I feel like he could even take this engagement.
Yeah, he's very bold with just one tank versus this composition, but
Yeah, MygraiN's moving forward. He sees he could probably time it out and realize, that there's not too many other siege tanks here. One thing that Paradox does have is the air control. A lot of Marines getting blasted there by the siege tank line. We're still not seeing a third base come out at all for Paradox. We're seeing oh, that's just an SCV scouting around. I thought that might have been a drop.
he knows there's a base on the right. He's seen like at least 2 to 3 SCVs go by there.
Oh yeah, I mean he's purposely kind of positioning himself.
Oh, what? He dropped the Vikings. Wow.
Oh yeah, I see
that.
that.
That was a bad move. He just gave him away.
Yeah, he's not too happy about that one either. And that was one of the few advantages that Paradox had, the air advantage, and that just kind of went away. So actually, MygraiN is taking a fourth base too. I didn't even notice that one. With let's take a look at the production right here. We have double starport, actually building 2 Banshees at a time. We have 4 barracks coming out, most of them on tech labs, so really marauder heavy. So they're kind of trying to counter a mech force, siege tank Thor. And then we have 1 factory with siege tanks being produced out of them. So again, kind of just playing against this mech composition.
He's running away right now. He needs to do something here. And this could be it.
Yeah, this is that big unsiege that we're talking about. Now, siege tanks in the back can do a little bit better than these unsieged tanks, but now that they're up and on front dealing a ton of damage, I think that this might be it.
Oh, he backs off.
Yeah, if MygraiN just keeps moving forward, you can siege up at the natural here. Paradox calling out the lulls. MygraiN, though, still pulling back, just playing defensive.
Yeah, no upgrades on the mech units.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Actually, are there any? Well, we are seeing actual bio upgrades coming out, but he's got one army. Oh, was just about to start some, but the GG comes out.
Yeah, it was just he just knew.
Yeah, really well fought though. I mean, considering what he was up against, and yeah, we saw him trying. I mean, it was kind of cool to see him try and pressure that front. Unfortunately, getting blasted on the ramp there when he lost a ton of his Marines, and he had the siege tank advantage, but trying to get up into that ramp on Nimbus with that 1 siege tank at the top, he lost like every single one of his Marines except 3. And then when that Banshee came out, he ended up losing all those siege tanks, got forced back, and then he was just on his back foot for the rest of the game.
Yeah, let's see who's next in our lineup. That was anticlimactic.
Well, that's the way with TVT sometimes, with siege tanks, and you just kind of get stuck there, and then eventually one person just gets overwhelmed, and we saw the charge of the cavalry as those siege tanks unsieged, and
yep.
Yeah. Just end up
we have Joseph and Lamb. They play next.
Jo
Let me check and see if he's ready. I think he's in the
Joseph
game.
Is Seth in game, right?
Yeah. If not, I'm playing Jadon. But let's add Hurt in Time.
Sure, yeah.
Let's add Hurt in Time to the cast. Obviously, I can't cast my own game, so...
Oh, come on. And now I'm going to drop this in his main.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Casting your own game as you play it.
So let me message you. Let me message you Hurt in Times momentarily. Hang tight, guys. We're still gonna add one more caster here to co-cast with Mothership.
For those of you in the chat, make sure to tweet out about the game. Let more people know that these are occurring. And yeah, make sure to check check out all the other streams by following the stream here and checking out on YouTube. All the games get uploaded pretty quickly after the actual live cast. So if you missed any of the games tonight, you can always go and check those out on youtube.com/SciStormGaming. Let me make sure that is actually correct.
I'm having a problem trying to find him here. This is nuts. Let me have him message you this Skype. 1 sec. While I get the other game going.
Yeah, sounds good. You can also say hi in chat. Appreciate the interaction, like always. If you have any comments, criticisms, or concerns, always love to hear them to help improve. So feel free to send them through any of the social media forums.